Hey Fitheads, Surgeon here with another Cigar Federation video review. Today we're reviewing something very special, going back to the Habanos. Got the Ramon Allones 898 Exclusivo Alemania. Alemania? It's exclusive Germany. This is the Lonsdale size Ramon Allones, and it was sent to me by a very special friend who will remain nameless, but he knows who he is. This is a bomb, very, very much appreciated. Measures 170 millimeters by 43 ring gauge. What does that mean in Imperial? It's 6.7 inches by 43. Cuban cigar, produced in 2014. I believe the box code on this is actually from 2015. And this is a discontinued cigar. So unfortunately you can't get this anymore, but I'm excited to be reviewing this, excited to be smoking this. So, talking about the nose on this Ramon Allones, it's a nice chocolate leather, mostly chocolate. Chocolate kind of overpowers the leather, not much else. In the foot, some very light cedar. That's about it, that's all I'm picking up. So we're gonna get straight up to the lighting and the cutting and enjoying this tasty cigar. So it's never more important to make sure you don't scorch the wrapper than with a Cuban cigar. Dealing with some subtle tobaccos here. Last thing you wanna do is scorch the wrapper. Because it's a small ring gauge, it's not going to take very long to ignite this, and that should do it. Grab my trusty Cigar V-cut, straight V-cut, perfect. Draws on the tight side, but it's producing great smoke. So even though it's a tight draw, still quite good. Initial impressions, very creamy, trailing leather. Let's see what it is in the retrohale. Very creamy and chocolatey in the retrohale. Great start. So we'll see what happens when the first third settles in and we'll check back. Talking about the flavor profile here, there is some saltiness. It's very light, very subtle, but it's there and it's kind of accenting the leather, creaminess, and chocolate that's present as the first third kicks off here. Just passing the 10-minute mark and the cigar's really settled into this really nice creamy chocolate with a hint of leather, a little bit of saltiness to accent all the flavors. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this was cup of coffee in a cigar, but there's no coffee notes, but that sort of creamy mouthfeel you get from a coffee with cream in it and that sugar mouthfeel you get, all of that reminds me of a cream and sugar coffee, just rich and mouth coating. Heck of a start here, so I'm looking forward to seeing where the first third goes and seeing how it transitions as we go into the middle third. Passing the 20-minute mark and the post-draw leather has really started to step up in intensity. It's sitting at about a medium minus. It's got a lot of coating mouthfeel to it, and that saltiness has stepped up to a light plus, almost a medium minus. And again, it's really just providing an accent to the rest of the flavors that are here. So I think that's going to be probably the consistent flavor through the first third here. I mean, we still probably have maybe 10 or 15 minutes left in the first third, and we'll check back in. At the halfway point of the first third here, and there is now some spices coming through on the retrohale. They're kind of lingering into the post-draw. Just adds a little bit of bite to the characteristics here. Very enjoyable. We'll see if that spice picks up in intensity at all before the first third wraps up. Getting into the middle third now. Fantastically creamy, rich, some spices in the retrohale. The cigar kind of has everything that I enjoy in a cigar. I'm already a huge fan of the Ramon Allones, so the opportunity to smoke an 898, especially limited edition Germany release, great opportunity. Unfortunately, a little late to the party here because you can't get them anymore, or maybe you can get them anymore on the secondary market, possibly. I think by the time this review is done, I'll be keeping my ears to the ground, my eyes open, see if anyone has some boxes available, because I think this is going to end up either a very high box split or a box buy, because it's outstanding. It's very good, and we're not even really at the halfway point yet. So, be interesting to see what else this cigar has in the middle third and check back in. At the 1 hour mark and hitting the halfway point of the cigar, not really much to report on in terms of changes. It's, like I said, just really settled into this fantastically creamy, rich, elegant flavor with some spices in the retrohale to round out the profile, some leather post-draw, some saltiness to bring it all together. What an outstanding cigar. For pairing, this is a no-brainer for rum, obviously a Cuban coffee, also a no-brainer. I might even go with a bourbon on this, just because I think the pepper would be a great balance for the creaminess here and play off against each other really nicely. But a lot of cigar to go. I'm only, like I said, at the halfway point, so we'll see what happens. Hitting the hour and 25-minute mark, and the middle third's kind of winding down. Again, not really much to report on in terms of flavor profile changes. It's really settled in. The profile is excellent. I don't think I really want it to change. As long as the profile stays the same at this point, I'm pretty happy. One thing to comment on though is that the strength of this cigar is definitely in the medium plus, and I smoke a lot of Cuban cigars, I smoke a lot of non-Cuban cigars, and I typically find a lot of Cubans to be in the medium strength. This is definitely more in the medium full category. It's got a lot of strength to it. I wish I was kind of pairing it because it might offset that, but really enjoying the experience so far and looking forward to seeing what Profile has in store for the middle third or the last third. As the Ramon Allones 898 exclusive of Germany transitions into the last third here, more flavor profile changes to report on. There's an herbal note that's kind of mixing in with those spices. It's interesting. I think it's going to develop a little bit more as the final third settles in, but it's again, just adds to the complexity. It's a bit of a change up from the first third and the middle third. I'm interested to see where that goes. Passing the hour and 40-minute mark, and the post-draw has a bit of a drying mouthfeel to it. There's some cedar in there. I don't know if it's the leather that's got that drying mouthfeel or whether it's the cedar that's got that drying mouthfeel, but significant drying mouthfeel in the post-draw. Again, making me wish I was pairing this, but what a phenomenal Ramon Allones. Really enjoying this and looking forward to seeing what's left in the final third here. Hitting the 2-hour mark and at the halfway point of the last third here, along with all the notes that I've picked up so far in the last third, there's now some earthiness that's coming through. It's about medium minus, so it's not overpowering the leather. The herbal notes are still in there, although they are getting a little bit lost in the shuffle. Again, very drying mouthfeel here. Really wishing I had a rum or a coffee to pair with, but just fantastic Ramon Allones. The 898 Germany exclusive here from 2014 is just fantastic. Wrapping up the review of the Ramon Allones 2014 exclusive to Germany, the 898. What an amazing cigar. Really glad I had the opportunity to smoke this. Thanks very much to the unnamed person who sent me these cigars. Really appreciate it. Look forward to some more reviews of some pretty cool stuff coming up in the near future. Again, what a great smoky experience. If you enjoyed this review, if you enjoyed the video, give us an up thumbs, up vote, up arrow, toss us a comment on the video. Of course, you can always email me, surgeon@cigarfederation.com. Hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure to check out the written review at cigarfederation.com, and we'll be back next week with another video review.